Overthinking isn't inherently bad. It's what keeps us out of danger, it pushes us towards comfort, and helps us avoid situations that we perceive as scary or risky. Although being safe and comfortable is important for a majority of your life, in those moments where you're trying to strive for more, the overthinking could be an anchor in your pursuit. Perception is everything when it comes to overthinking. A situation doesn't have to be inherently risky, but if we feel like it is in any way, certain alarm bells will ring in our heads and we'll be overly cautious. We've all been there with the onslaught of questions we give ourselves. What if everyone I know hates me because I quit my job? What if people make fun of the way I look if I started creating content? What if I'm not smart enough to perform if I'm given a promotion? These questions help us understand the situation in a way that makes sense to us. But again, we always turn our focus to the worst case scenario. So here's where I actually challenge you to frame that worst case scenario and see what it is, and use that to help mitigate any of the overwhelming thoughts preventing you from moving forward. I'll take this channel for example, and the overthinking I do around posting videos with my face in a swollen and pudgy state. About a year ago, I got diagnosed with a couple rare kidney diseases. These caused me to swell up uncontrollably, and I'm still showing a lot of the swelling today. As someone who's always worked hard to develop a certain image for myself, I've continued to dread showing my face in its current state to potentially millions of viewers. But how I combat this is looking at the worst case scenario. To me, this comes up more in vlogs, and it's when I'm filming without reviewing footage and what I think is a terrible angle of my face gets filmed for an important segment. But if I actually think about it, the worst case scenario is, yes, a terrible angle of my face is revealed and maybe some mean people online comment that I look fat or that I should hit the gym. And by articulating that worst case scenario and understanding that it's much less than other things that have been said to me, I can push myself a step forward and learn to feel comfortable being uncomfortable. I can do so by showing an angle like this that's completely unflattering that I would have never uploaded before. But it's one of those things that if I can handle this uploaded to the world, I can handle posting just about any video of myself. To bring this back into relevance for your life, imagine you're about to take the leap of faith to take a new and exciting position at a new company or university. You really like the people at your current company, and so you're getting very anxious about what they'll think of when you leave. Now use my trick and think about the worst case scenario. The worst case scenario is that some of your coworkers will be sad to see you go, and maybe the manager that recruited you becomes frustrated that they need to fill your spot. Now you have tangible things to weigh against each other. Is the new opportunity so exciting that the worst case scenario you articulated isn't that scary anymore? If yes, then pounce on that opportunity. If no, then you may need a bit more time to iron out the loose ends in your current situation. Either way, you won't get lost in the endless cycle of overthinking the different aspects of your decision.
A Lakers calendar.
Yeah, look, there's something in there every day.
I'm sure you have an inner circle of people that you trust, whether this be your family, friends, coworkers, or even people that you trust due to respect like managers or teachers. And isn't it weird that although you really trust these people's opinions, we somehow manage to hold the opinions of the random people to a higher level of importance? Going back to my anecdote about being self-conscious about my appearance right now, why is it that I'm worried about random mean comments more than I acknowledge the encouraging words said to me by my loved ones? To its core, I understand. We know our loved ones care a lot about us and will always want us to feel good. So we end up taking their kind words with a grain of salt because we question whether or not they say those things simply to make us feel better. When in reality, loved ones also take into account any future disappointments. Loved ones would have never encouraged me to make videos if they thought I was going to be bullied in a way that would bring me down. Your friends wouldn't have told you to strive for that promotion or new job if they didn't think you'd actually be able to succeed in that role. Your boss wouldn't have recommended a higher visibility role if they didn't believe you were already equipped to perform. At the end of the day, we are our worst critics, and that's okay. But you have to make sure that you just as equally consider the thoughts and opinions of people you trust and respect. A lot of successful people use the phrase, be comfortable being uncomfortable. And that's because most new and exciting opportunities arise from seemingly uncomfortable situations. That new job opportunity requires you to quit your old one. Creating content requires putting your work out publicly. Attending that prestigious university requires leaving your family and hometown. And starting your own business requires pushing through many people saying your idea will never work. Something is only out of your comfort zone until you go and do it. Discomfort is the root of growth, and the more experiences you have that put yourself out of your comfort zone, the more you will grow in all aspects of your life. You'll gain more confidence and will be able to tackle more and more challenging situations head on.
We have a map for you. So I've circled out where you're going to be. So you're going to be going to Raw boss house.
But let's be clear, being comfortable being uncomfortable is not the only skill you need to move forward in life. You actually need to work to perfect your craft and always continue to learn. If you have doubts about your current capabilities, whether that be your fitness or your work or your side hustle, put in the work to continually develop your skills. Because when you do, you become confident in what you're capable of and you stop overthinking those scenarios. The place I recommend you to hone your skills is on Skillshare, the sponsor of today's video. If curiosities bring you to a crossroads where you need to brush up on old skills or develop new ones, I recommend a proud channel sponsor of mine, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for anyone who loves learning and wants to explore their creativity and learn new skills. Through creativity, Skillshare can help you and me make 2022 a year of new learning, growth, and connection. If you're interested in making a career pivot or leveling up your skills for your side hustles, Skillshare is a great resource for you. Classes like Demystifying Cryptocurrency by Melton Demores and Start Your Creative Career with Sandra Rasula gave me valuable insights to push forward in my various endeavors. Skillshare is an ad-free, so I'm able to stay in the zone while exploring new skills, and since new premium classes launch every week, there's always something new to discover. The first 1,000 people to use the link in the description or my code KJHardrict will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. At the end of the day, everything is hearsay until action is taken. You can learn about it and plan about it all you want, but until you actually take steps outside of your comfort zone, you'll remain at your status quo. Just go and do what you're apprehensive about. More times than not, we're apprehensive about situations that we know are best for us, but have some sort of uncomfortable path to achieve. The biggest roadblock to achieving goals like this will be time. With time, you have the opportunity to continue to overthink and potentially even make the situation more difficult than it was before. A lot of the times, the most difficult part of the uncomfortable situation is the activation energy involved with starting. And once you do start, the most difficult part will be over. The overthinking also doesn't have to all fall on you individually. Leverage your loved ones for support and seek advice from trusted people who've done it before. In professional or academic settings, you can reach out to people through LinkedIn. It's a great avenue to connect and validate whether your overthinking thoughts are substantiated or not. For more personal matters, friends and family will probably be the best initial source of feedback and advice. If the matters are even more serious or the thoughts are consuming your days, try and book an appointment with a therapist. I know I'm saying things in this video that sound like I kind of know what I'm talking about, but in reality I share my experiences because I've been there. I've reached out to people who've had the experiences I've hoped to have and have been calmed by their outlook. And I've also gotten overwhelmed to the point where I felt like I needed impartial professional help. Today, I'm okay. I'm more than okay. I've had a crazy, very uncomfortable year, but now I'm happily enjoying life. Both the little things and the larger events. I'm taking one day at a time. And since I've gotten comfortable being so incredibly uncomfortable, there isn't too much to overthink on a day-to-day basis. I'm alive, enjoying myself, spending time with loved ones, and succeeding in my work. What else could I ask for? To whoever's watching this, I would say that you should continue to set goals to work to achieve. The more you strive for and succeed in, the more the things you overthink will grow in the day-to-day. What I mean by this is that you will no longer stress the little things that you'll completely have under control. You'll have the headspace to tackle the matters that mean more to you. These higher level challenges will allow you to continue to grow as a person as you experience life itself. Most importantly though, remember to be in the now. You can't live your whole life worried about the future or dwelling on the past, because you'll never experience the joys of present day.